Hey guys, I am Katie from Mystic Creek Farm and welcome back to our channel. Today we are working on projects galore and lambing season has started. So we are running in every which direction it feels like. And I figured I could just take you guys along, show you what we're doing, show you what we're working on, and give you an update of everything that's going on around us. Behind me, I'm getting some ground cover ready for planting tomatoes, and you can see behind that I've got those wholesale plants and shrubs that I had ordered sitting over there. We are still getting some really cold weather. Right now it's about 30 degrees outside. It's really warm in here, but it's really windy. So I am keeping those guys in here, and then at night we put the frost cover on, and they are doing perfectly fine in here. I am about to turn on the sprinkler so that all those guys can get some water, and while that is happening, I'm gonna go out and show you everything else. So here are some projects we're working on. I finally have my picket fence to go up outside of the high tunnel. Still working on rain gutters. I'm painting the fence black, and this all is going to get put up just here outside of the high tunnel by the tulips and daffodils and everything that I planted and the mums. And I should show you everything we've gotten done outside because it is looking amazing. We had our first lamb born this morning. We had a boy and a girl, and it was raining and snowing and cold and yucky, and we did have one of them get really droopy really quick. They were born outside, and I think that it was probably a twin. The second one born, it was a twin. It was the second one born, and I'm thinking that mom was looking off the first one and kind of didn't realize that she gave birth or know what she needed to do. She always had a single in the past. So I'm thinking it didn't get cleaned off very well, and we came across them just like 45 minutes later, but I think it was just wet and cold enough that by the time we got him in the barn, it was really droopy. So we brought it inside, got it nice and warm, and it went back to mom, and they are doing great. So I'll put some video of that in here. So they are in the jug, and they are doing great now, and they are happily both nursing off of mom, and they are doing, they're just like newborn little lambs. They're doing perfect. So that was a relief. We thought we'd have to bottle feed that one because the mom I had to pull her first lamb out of her, and she is very flighty. She knows what she's doing with a single. She just doesn't quite know what she's doing with twins, but she really seems to be really accepting of the lamb, or maybe the hormones are going crazier, and so she's madly in love with it. And so they are in the barn, and they are doing great. Now out here, we're getting raised beds set up. Look at all the tulips and daffodils. You can see we're getting ready to put the fence panels up. I have a hole ready to dig right there, and one panel, we're not quite sure how to put these up because the brackets that we bought to hang them up so it would be quick and easy actually don't fit them. And so we are just going to do one panel at a time. I have that one out here just so that I could measure it while the other one had been in the high tunnel drying. So Owen and Beck are going to dig that hole. And while they're doing that, I'm going to go show you another project I was working on. So over here on the greenhouse, I got the rain gutter put on, and I got the window trim up. So it feels like a lot of progress. It looks like it's so much more finished. I still have to put on the drain spout, but I'm not going to put that on until we figure out where we're putting the water tank, because I'm not sure if I'm going to have a water tank on each side of the greenhouse or if I'm going to have them both flow into one. So it doesn't make sense to get all of it hooked up now, only to have to cut and move and all that kind of stuff later. Right now my goal is just to get the trim on and the rain gutters on, and then start working on the front and get the trim and get the boards and everything painted black on the front so that it looks nice and finished. So I took the other day, I came down in between work jobs and put this up really quick, and then it took me a few days to get the gutter up, but I got it done and it is looking awesome. I love it. And from far off you don't even notice that the rafters aren't black. You just see that it looks nice and finished, and so I'm really liking it. If we ever have to take and replace the plastic on here, which I'm hoping that it's a long time before we have to do that, but when we go to do that, then I will get all of the rafters painted black then. But for now, it is good. It's looking nice and finished on these sides, and so it's looking wonderful. So I'm really happy with how it's turning out. We have 2 raised beds set into place, leveled. Fill these, we're doing the hugelkultur method, so we put sticks and logs as a bottom layer, and then we took and we put the wood chips that we have. We have a massive pile of wood chips, and we put a couple scoops of that on top, and then we put cow manure, and then once the ground finishes thawing, we're going to put compost on top. So that one has the wood chips. That pile needs to be leveled out, and then we'll do manure, and then we'll get the third one set in place, and we'll just do that going right down the row. We're doing it, if we have like 15 minutes, we're going and getting a couple loads and dumping it in, and then that way we're making progress even though we don't have a lot of time to work on a project. Once we get all this painting done, our ground cover for in the high tunnel finally showed up, and so we will start laying ground cover for in there and then outside. And we have 2 rolls here. This one is 32 foot wide and our high tunnel is 34, so that works out perfect. We already laid the stuff along the edges, so it should be pretty quick and easy. And then this one here is 16 foot wide, and so then that's what we're going to use on the outside for the mums. And I think that we're going to use some for the pumpkins too. I'm right in the middle of, in the evenings, I sit down and I kind of map out where everything's going and the length of the ground cover that we need and that kind of stuff, so that in the future they're all fairly consistent, so that the ground cover for the pumpkins is all going to be a certain length long, and we just need to rotate it in different areas. It's taking a lot of thinking and everything to go about doing that, but in the long run it'll be really good, because then that way we're more organized in the spring and we're able to get things up and running quicker. Now the other things that you see here, this is a mobile chicken coop or a chicken tractor. We were going to get a couple of them, one for egg layers, one for broilers, but that stuff was delayed. I placed the order in January. It was supposed to be here by March 1st, and we got it at the end of April. So, that stuff was delayed like 6 weeks, 8 weeks. So we are going to put it on hold for a bit. We're going to get that assembled. We're going to put our broilers in there. And the one for the egg layers, we'll figure out when the time comes. We're just going to keep them in the coop and let them free range like we have in the past, just because we don't have enough time to do all these projects. Okay, so we got the first one up. That is going to go all the way down to the garden arch, which that is going to be the entrance to the garden, the outdoor garden. And then we're going to do a matching fence here, but for now we don't need to do that. I just want to get these up because I do have so many flowers in here and I'm going to be planting more, that I want to get the fence up before I do anything more as far as flowers and that kind of stuff goes. So we're going to get our stuff cleaned up. We're going to give new hay bales to the cows and then call it a night. that is it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you next time.